Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to Being on Stage, the only podcast that gives you motivation, inspiration, and confidence to be better on stage. No matter how you entertain, sing, dance, band, comedian, public speaking, MC, drag, burlesque, performance art, or street performer, this is the show for you. Hey rock stars, Reggie Dawson, your host of the Being on Stage podcast. Welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in. You know that little voice in your head that creeps up on you once in a while and kind of just tells you how wrong it is that you're pursuing this, your dreams, your performance career, tell you how you're not fit for it. You ever get that voice? I get that voice. I do. It happens to me too. You know, that voice, it seems to come around when things start to look pretty low. You know, maybe you're in between gigs. You know, it's been a while since you've gotten that phone call or that email or even that response. You know, if hopefully you're actively seeking work, but maybe you just haven't gotten a response in a while. If you keep track of this sort of thing, maybe your video likes and watches have gone down. And that can really start to hit you hard, and it gets that voice going, that voice telling you like, oh man, maybe people don't like me as much as I thought they would. Maybe I need to change what I'm doing. Maybe I'm not right for this. I'm not cut out for this. I'm not doing it right. There's something wrong with me. All those thoughts come to our minds. And hey, listen, you are not alone. Every performer on the face of this planet has gone through that exact thought process, yours truly included. And what I've noticed, and this is in personal experience, I've noticed it observing other artists and other performers, I've noticed it observing celebrities. When it seems like that voice and that those moments when you start to question what you're doing, if you're talented enough, if you got what it takes to make it, when you start to question that about yourself and that voice comes at you and comes out in your head, 99.9999999% of the time. That was a lot. That was many more nines than I intended. But almost damn near 100% of the time, that voice comes out when you are getting close to things going up, to things taking off, to things just hitting the ground and just going, exploding, if you will. That voice is going to come to you and start to question you. And listen, you can call it what you will. If you're a religious person, you call it the enemy, you call it the devil. If you're, more of a nature spirit, more spiritual person, you could just call it your inner voice, the devil on your shoulder, whatever. But either way, your subconscious, whatever you want to call it. But there are those questions that come to your mind when things seem to slow down or just not shooting off the way that you dream of them going, Our dreams can be very, very powerful things, but they can also be very, very dangerous things. Because when we start to question them, when we start to feel that way and we're getting down on ourselves, your moment, that moment when things are going to turn around and things are going to just take off and start to get, and it may not take off quickly. Listen, momentum can come very, very slowly, but it is still momentum. Moving forward is still moving forward. But, when you're starting to question yourself and you decide, I'm going to stop sending out these emails asking for bookings. I'm going to stop posting videos on social media. I'm going to take down this website. I'm going to take down this. I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to cancel my gig. When you start thinking like that comes at the worst time. And I'm gonna call it the enemy, honestly, because negative thoughts when you're a performer is the enemy, no matter whether you're spiritual or not. But that's the enemy. And you know what? Sometimes you may hear it as a certain voice. When it happens to me, oh God, this is kind of embarrassing. So there was this other performer, and we will call her Sherry. I don't know a Sherry. I mean, I know a Sherry in personal life, not her, but never knew a Sherry as a performer. So we'll call her Sherry. And she just had this way of talking to you that made you feel insignificant, but at the same time, needed. So there was this thing that was she could draw you in and then just make you feel like absolute crap without her. And thank God you have me, and thank God there's me, and me, like, can completely just, I couldn't even explain it. And every time I would talk this, it would be little backhanded compliments, if you will, about like, wow, you really did that out there on stage. That was unexpected, all things considered. Like, what? Backhanded compliments, bringing you in, just kind of making you feel insignificant, and it's dangerous. It's a dangerous thing to be around. And that's honestly, sometimes I hear that voice in my head. That person that's telling me, well, why are you trying to do stuff like that? You have no business coaching performers. You have no business being out on that stage, after so long. You have no, you don't come out here and do this. You don't come out, like, I hear it all the time. That's the voice that I hear. We all have that voice, and it's dangerous. And sometimes I just want to stomp that freaking voice right into the ground. And hey, sometimes I do. Most of the time I do. But you got to push past that voice. And I guess the message here and the message today is when that's happening, you are literally so close to things starting to happen. You are so close to your dreams beginning to take shape and beginning to take mold. When you are at your darkest moment, that's when you have the capability to shine the brightest. And yes, that is kind of I guess, I don't know if it's a saying already, but when you're in your darkest moment, you have the ability to shine the brightest. Pick yourself up. Think positive. Continue to think positive thoughts. So what if you have no money in your bank account and you don't know where you're sleeping tonight? And that, yes, I recognize it happens. Maybe you're sleeping in your car. Maybe you're sleeping under a bridge. Hey, this happens for performers. Sometimes you're sleeping in the back of the club if they're nice. This happens. This is a real thing. This is real for some performers, Maybe you're struggling to go through some family stuff, things like that. Lost a loved one recently, God forbid. My condolences, if so. These things are going to happen in life. And this is not like a put on your big boy pants type of speech, but these things are going to happen in your life. And you're going to have dark moments, and you're going to have times when you want to give up. And a lot of times those things happening in our life is what makes us question our ability to turn this around and our ability to make a living and become successful as a performer. Maybe it's as simple as you just don't have a lot of people showing up for your gigs. So why keep trying? You don't have anyone showing up for your gigs, so why keep trying? But if you stop trying, if you give up, if you take the website down, if you stop reaching out to people, you will never move forward. This is something that was passed on to me, okay? If you continue taking action, it is impossible to not find success. It is impossible to not find some level of success if you keep trying. If you never give up, you will find success. It's impossible not to. But if you give up, if you step back, if you take it down, if giving up completely is the absolute worst. It's heart-wrenching because it breaks your heart, and then you live the next few years wondering, why did I give it up? You don't want to live with that. Trust me, you don't want to live with that. But you wonder why you give it up. And you there's always that what if. You see it in television shows and movies and about all the artists and things like that have the has-beens. They all, what if? What if? You don't want to wonder what if. So keep at it. Keep pushing yourself forward. Keep taking action. If you need a little help, listen, here's the skinny. If you need a little help, I'm here to help. Jump on my calendar, beingonstage.com/calendar. We'll chat for 30 minutes or so. We'll figure out what the plan is, and we'll get you moving forward so that you can take those steps and keep taking those actions. I'll help you build your confidence. Listen, it's all about your individual specific situation. This podcast is great, but if you want to talk your individual specific needs, hop on the calendar, beingonstage.com/calendar. And let's work on your specific situation and get you going towards your dreams. Okay? All right? That's what it's all about. Keep on shining.